Today's class is on concept of Gibbs free energy, del G for predicting the feasibility of a reaction, and conditions for del G for spontaneous processes.
Today we shall discuss another part of thermodynamics. In our previous video we have discussed about the del S total, that means the entropy change of the universe, and we know that del S total in case of nature, that is the sum total of these two, del S system plus del S surrounding, and always these two is greater than 0. But we can find out easily the value of del S system, because del S system equal to Q reversible by T. But we can't find out the del S total easily, because it includes this term del S surrounding. So del S surrounding we cannot calculate easily, and therefore this is very much a tedious job to calculate the del S surrounding, because it relates not with the system but also with the surrounding. That's why we cannot calculate the del S total. Rather, there are two thermodynamical functions, by which we can express the nature. These two functions are called the G, that means Gibbs free energy, and another function is A, known as the Helmholtz free energy. So these two are the thermodynamical functions which actually states the spontaneity of the process. Among these two, in between these two, actually G and A actually gives free energy and Helmholtz free energy. Only G relates with, gives free energy relates with the spontaneity of the process, at constant temperature and pressure. That's why in our present syllabus G is more important than that of A, so we have to discuss the value of G, on the basis of which you can conclude the spontaneity of a system, spontaneity of a process. Now, how we can conclude? We know that total energy of the system can be divided into two parts. Number one, the A part, which can be converted into work. This is called the Gibbs free energy. And another part which cannot be converted into work. So there are two parts actually. Total, we can actually assign these, the total energy of the system can be divided into two parts. One is the part which can be converted into work, which is called the Gibbs free energy, and the another part which cannot be converted into work. So this can be, total energy of the system can be denoted by H. This can be denoted by capital G, which is the Gibbs free energy, and capital G, it is a state function as it is denoted by the capital state function, capital letter, and also it is the G actually depends on the mass. That's why it is the extensive property. The unit of G is joule or calorie. So Gibbs free energy minus another part which cannot be converted into work. Let this part is denoted by the Q. Now if Q is supplied to the system or can be removed to the system reversibly. So then we can write Q reversible equal to T into S, because we know that T S equal to Q reversible by T. S equal to, that means the entropy equal to Q reversible by T. So we can write Q reversible equal to T into S. If the amount of energy Q, heat energy, is removed from the system or is gained to the system reversibly, then we can write Q reversible equal to T into S. So instead of Q, then we can write H equal to G minus Ts. This is the expression. Now from this we can write the value of G equal to H plus Ts. This is the actually mathematical expression of the Gibbs free energy. Just we have proved that. Now we are going to discuss about this del G for predicting the feasibility of the reaction. Predicting the feasibility of the reaction. Just we have discussed that G equal to H minus Ts, that means H plus Ts, where H is the total enthalpy, total heat content, T is the absolute scale temperature, and S is the entropy of the system. So for a finitesimal change in Gibbs free energy, you can write that del G equal to del H plus del of T into, del H minus T del S, H minus T del S, T into S. So we can write that del G equal to del H minus del of Ts. Therefore this equal to del H minus T into del S minus S into del T. So at constant, now we can write also this equal to del G, del H equal to del U plus del of PV minus P del S minus S del T. Therefore del U plus P del V plus V del P minus T del S minus S del T. Now if we impose the condition del G, del G equal to this, del G at constant P and T, temperature and pressure remains constant, then we can write del G equal to del U plus P del V. Since P is constant, so P del P becomes 0 minus T del S, and since T is constant, S del T becomes 0. So total expression becomes del U plus P del V minus T del S. This is the actual expression, and we know that del U plus P del V is again equal to nothing but the del H. So del G equal to del U plus P del V minus T del S. This is the final expression. Now on the basis of this, if we conclude the if we want to predict the feasibility of a reaction, how can we predict the feasibility of a reaction? Suppose the del S total, that means del S universe equal to del S system plus del S surrounding. Now if we want, see that, assume that the reaction, that means Q calorie of heat energy is excluded from the system toward the surrounding, excluded from system to the surrounding. Then according to the sign convention, thermodynamical sign convention of chemistry, that Q for the surrounding is positive and for the system it is negative. So at constant pressure, we know that therefore Q at constant pressure for the system is equal to minus, that means for the surrounding equal to minus of QP of the system, because in case of reversible process, QP of system plus QP of surrounding equal to 0 in case of reversible process. So we can write QP surrounding equal to minus QP of system. That means minus QP of system can be written as minus of del HP of system, Again we can write this because we know that del HP equal to QP. So that's why we write, instead of QP we can write del HP. So minus del HP of the system. Now here we know that del S surrounding equal to QP surrounding QP surrounding divided by T. QP surrounding divided by T. So instead of QP surrounding, we write here minus del HP surrounding, minus del HP of system divided by T. Now we come to the first reaction. This is the second part. So putting this value in equation 1, we get del S total equal to del S system plus del S surrounding. Instead of plus del S surrounding, you can write here minus del HP by T of system. So minus del HP system divided by T. So multiplying both sides by T, we get T del S total equal to T del S system minus del HP system. So this can be written as minus del G of system, because we know that since del G equal to del H minus T del S, already we have seen that del G equal to del H minus T del S, because del H minus T del S minus S del T. So at constant temperature and pressure, we can write here T and P, we can write here del H minus T del S, because del T is 0 here. So at constant temperature or pressure, we can write del G at constant temperature and pressure equal to del H minus T del S. So del H minus T del S can be written as minus del G of system, because by multiplying negative sign with both sides, so minus del G system. That means we know that T never be negative, T is always positive, because this is the absolute scale temperature, always positive. And for a spontaneous process, we know that del S total is always positive, always greater than 0. So left hand side is always positive. So del G system with a negative sign, it denotes that spontaneity of the process. That means we can conclude that the decreasing Gibbs free energy of the system actually leads to the spontaneous process. Decreasing Gibbs free energy of the system leads to the spontaneous process, because del G system is negative here. So we can write this del G system equal to minus T del S. Since T is positive, del S is positive, so it must be negative. That means decreasing the Gibbs free energy of the system leads to the spontaneity of the process, and this is the conclusion how we can draw the predict the feasibility of a chemical reaction. On the basis of the value of del G, we can conclude that if del G is positive, then the reaction is non-spontaneous, because already we have seen that del G must be negative. Del G system, del G means del G of system equal to minus T del S. Since T is positive, del S total is always positive, therefore del G system must be negative. So negative change in Gibbs free energy denotes the spontaneity of the process. So del G positive means non-spontaneous process. Del G is negative means spontaneous process. But del G when equal to 0, it means the reaction is at equilibrium. It actually concludes about the equilibrium state of the reaction. So these are the three conditions for del G. Now del H, del S and del G. Suppose these three are three columns. If del H is negative, we know that the equation is del G. We know that the relation between these three is del G equal to del H minus T del S. Now if del H is negative, we know that del H is negative means exothermic process. Del H is negative. If del S is positive, see this, del H is negative, del S is positive, T is always positive, so it will be negative here because it is multiplied by negative sign. So overall del G must be negative. That means always spontaneous at all temperatures. So this process is always spontaneous. Number one. Exothermic again, but del S is negative. del S is negative. Suppose del S is negative here, so multiplied by this is positive. Now we can write this del G must be negative for a spontaneous process. So to make it, that means the process is spontaneous. To make it spontaneous. See this del G, del H, mod del H must be greater than mod T del S. Only in that case the overall value will be negative, hence it is positive. That means del G is negative. So hence the reaction becomes spontaneous. So this is the case 1, exothermic process. Now in case of endothermic process, B, endothermic process, we know that this is positive here, del H is positive. So del S, again, if it is positive, del H is positive, del S is positive. So to make it spontaneous, it means process spontaneous. The condition is that del H, mod del H must be less than that of T del S. Only in that case the overall value will be negative, and that's why del G becomes negative, so the reaction becomes spontaneous. Again in case of endothermic process, that means del H is positive. If del S is also negative, then del S negative means overall positive. So always it is positive, always it is non-spontaneous, because del G positive means always non-spontaneous. So these are the conditions of the reactions which we can draw or conclude by using the value of del G. Now we have to calculate the useful work, because we know that del G, what is del G? Change in Gibbs free energy. Change in Gibbs free energy, what is Gibbs free energy? The amount of energy available to a system which can be converted to useful work. Already we have discussed about this in the first part of this video, that the total heat energy of the system can be divided into two parts. One part is actually can be converted to the work, and another part which cannot be converted to the work. Which can be converted to the work is called the Gibbs free energy. So net available energy, net available to a system which can be converted to a useful work is called the Gibbs free energy of the system. Now calculation of useful work, we can conclude that for the calculation of useful work, we can conclude that suppose a system suppose Q calorie of heat energy or Q amount of heat energy is supplied, and again W amount of work is done on the system. So according to the first law of thermodynamics, we can write that del U equal to Q plus W. Now what is W? We know that W can be divided into two parts. W expansion, that means mechanical expansion, that means mechanical work, plus W non-expansion, which is non-mechanical work, which can be converted to the work. Non-expansion, that means non-mechanical. So instead of W, we can write here Q plus minus P del V minus W non-expansion, because W is negative here, always minus P del V. So Q plus minus P del V minus W non-expansion. So sum total of these two. P del V is nothing but this, because we know that W expansion can be represented by P del V plus W of non-expansion. So multiplying both sides by negative sign, because always W is negative, minus P del V, it actually expressed by this. So Q plus minus P del V minus W non-expansion. So now we can write that del U plus P del V equal to Q minus W non-expansion, Now if Q amount of heat energy is supplied to the system reversibly. Now Therefore Q reversible can be written as T del S. That means T into del S, because del S equal to Q reversible by T. So instead of Q, we can write here del U plus P del V equal to Q reversible minus W non-expansion, and del U plus P del V equal to del HP equal to Q reversible means T del S minus W non-expansion. Therefore, del HP minus P del S, P del S equal to minus W non-expansion. And we know that del HP minus T del S is nothing but del G of the system. This equal to minus W non-expansion. That means this part, from the definition, we know that what is change in Gibbs energy? This is the non-expansion work available to a system. That means the energy available to a system which can be converted to the useful work. This is the useful work, which is the non-expansion work. So minus del G equal to W non-expansion. Minus del G means Gibbs energy released. So decrease in Gibbs energy is converted to the non-expansion work of the system. Discussing about the standard Gibbs free energy change. Standard state. What is called the standard state? Standard state generally means 273, that means 298, actually 273 Kelvin temperature, and 1 atmosphere pressure. This is the actually standard state. Now del G at standard state can be represented as del G 0. Now del G 0 equal to, we know that this is the actually negative of del G 0 equal to W non-expansion. Already we have proved. That means non-expansion work. So net change in Gibbs energy is converted to the non-expansion work, which is equal to NFE0. If E0 cell denotes the battery, E0 cell of the battery. E0 cell is the battery system. So N is the number of electron transfer in case of a full cell reaction, and F is the Faraday of electricity. E0 cell is the cell electrode potential of the standard electrode potential of the cell. Again we can write for an equilibrium process del G0 equal to minus RT ln K equilibrium, where K equilibrium is the equilibrium constant. Instead of this we can write minus RT 2.303 log K equilibrium. So these are the two relations. One is the del G0 and E0 relation between these two, and the other is del G0 with K equilibrium relation between these two.